fish in Mexico.
They've been drinking.
KNNL in Albuquerque is the sports animal. Proud to be a Cumulus media station. Even if they're not that proud of us. Now, it's 7 a.m. Time for the opening drive. Voted the best sports show in New Mexico for 5 years running. It's the OD and the AM with Jeff Symbieta and JJ Buck.
I've never seen it before. Never seen it. I've watched a lot of baseball. I think you have too. I've never seen it before, and it was unbelievable. I had a Braves fan telling me, she said she jumped out of her seat, then dropped to her knees, and then cried. She was so happy with the way that game ended. I've never seen an 8-5-3 double play to end a playoff game. Good morning to you. Watch long enough, or watch all the time, and you'll see something that you've never seen before, even if you think you've seen it all. Look at you on opening day of the National Hockey League. It is Stanley Cup Drop the Puck Day, face-off day here on the opening drive. Jeff Symbieta, JJ Buck, DC. How we living?
What it do?
You all right over there? Look at you. We broke out the sweater.
Got the sweater.
That's right. Hockey sweater. That's what they are.
Factually correct. Yeah.
Soccer kit. Everybody else has a uniform. Right? Jerseys. Happy Hockey Day.
Yeah, it's going to be a fun one, man.
Yeah.
Kraken, Golden Knights, I'm really looking forward to that.
That's the late one tonight.
Yeah.
They're gonna raise the banner in Vegas tonight and have another big party after the big party last night in Vegas. Raiders were winners last night, 17-13 over the Packers, and we're gonna get into that. Hey, 17-14. All right. Did you watch any of the baseball?
No.
Okay. The Braves comeback on the Phillies was insane. And the Braves are the best team in baseball throughout the regular season. The three best teams in baseball are kind of on the ropes right now. The Orioles are down 2-0. The Dodgers are down 2-0. And the Braves were 12 outs away from going down 2-0. They get a home run by Austin Riley in the eighth inning to take the lead. And Bryce Harper gets on for the Phillies in the top of the ninth. And Nick Castellanos hits a drive to Michael Harris at center field. A drive that is in right center field. It's either gone or it's off the wall. And so Bryce Harper takes off. Michael Harris, the center fielder, makes a sensational catch up against the wall. Looks up and sees Harper's around second base. Fires it in, misses his cutoff man. Riley, the guy who hit the home run, finds the ball in the middle of the infield, throws the first base double play. Good night now. 8-5-3 double play. I've never seen anything like it. Have you seen the highlights yet?
The Austin Riley play reminds me a lot of Derek Jeter.
I can see that, the one at the plate. Yeah,
awareness, covering, being where he needed to be to make a tremendous play. And Bryce Harper, trying to be aggressive. You're down a run.
Yep. Well, I thought he was going to score.
Trying to push it.
Yep.
Thought that was going off the wall for sure.
Yeah.
Harris makes a great play in center field. And Philadelphia, huge missed opportunity, but the Braves coming back. And the other hot teams, we're talking the 100-win teams, not able to do that in game 2.
Yeah, it was one of those stunning moments. If you catch it live, and I was flipping back and forth, and so I caught that live, and Addie was like, "Is the Dodger game started yet?" And I'm like, "Oh yeah, they're over here on TV." So look at that, they're already down 2-0. And let's watch the end of this game. And we're watching that, and the football game had started, and it was like, yeah, whatever. It was insane. It was just one of those moments, one of those playoff moments where you go, holy bleep. And if you're a Braves fan, like that's one of those magic moments you will remember forever as a playoff moment. You're going to remember Austin Riley's home run in the eighth to put you up after being down 4-0. And then that play was unbelievable. All right, so we got a ton to do. Dodgers are down 2-0. Dodgers have scored 2 runs, JJ, in 2 games. Their starting pitching combined has gone for 2 innings with an ERA of over 40. Bobby Miller allowed 3 runs. He got pulled in the second 2 nights after Clayton Kershaw got 1 out. Dodgers are in trouble, dude, and the Diamondbacks look unbelievable. Their lineup hits, they get 2-out hits. The bullpen has been insane. They get out of bases loaded, 1-out jams. Are the Dodgers done?
Goes back to Clayton Kershaw. You needed.
He's going to be there in Game 4 if they get there.
But you needed an extended outing because that's the one deficiency in the Dodgers.
He's starting pitching, which he never is.
Went down earlier in the season. The issues with Urias keeping him away from the team
because of his domestic violence issue. Yeah, and then I'm forgetting big red hair Maine dude who's out too.
And so that was the biggest thing is you have Clayton Kershaw, you have a veteran in Lance Lynn, and then it was young arms have to step up. And the veteran failed you. Didn't get anything for the young arms. Early holes, and where's the offense?
Wow, and your guys are up there, right? I mean, it's Freddie Freeman who didn't come through in the clutch. It's Mookie Betts who didn't come through in the clutch. It's guys you need a one-out hit with bases, just put the ball in play. And you got Outman striking out. It was, boy, I'll tell you what, Diamondbacks look good. Diamondbacks look really good. A ton to do for you on a beautiful Tuesday is maybe you're heading out to Fiesta, you're already there, or on your way to work. We're here for you at 505-246-0610, 888-922-0610. Emails, Jeff at sports@WBQ.com, JJ at sports@WBQ.com. All right, last night, Packers and Raiders. It was Jim Garoppolo and really the Vegas defense. They pick off, Jim Garoppolo didn't, but the Vegas defense did, picked off Jordan Love 3 times. Jordan Love looked like he took a step backwards yesterday. I thought this was a good young quarterback who you were starting to trust a little bit. A couple of interceptions. The last one, like just throwing it up, hoping someone catches it, throwing one dead into coverage. Jordan Love did not look good last night.
That was my biggest concern with Jordan Love.
Yeah.
He's below 60% completion percentage. That's a big number in the NFL. 60% or higher. You look at the top guys in the league, they're easily above that. After last night's game, he's at 55%. The 2 interceptions early in the game that changed everything for the Raiders, and they were bad throws.
They were bad throws?
It wasn't like, defender made a play, it pops up. We've seen those.
No, there was one deflection one.
But they were just bad reads of where he was putting the football. And it was an ugly game, but the Raiders found a way. But for Josh McDaniels, stop kicking field goals at the end of games. He down 8? He kicked a field goal against the Steelers late in the game. Yesterday, you have a good field goal kicker. I don't care because if you make that field goal, you're up 7, and your defense has to go win the game. So why not on a 4th and 1, take the opportunity? It's a 2-minute warning. They only have 1 timeout left. Give it to Josh Jacobs or let Jimmy Garoppolo make a play to try to go win the game, because then you have a doink situation and your defense has to go out there. And luckily, defense made a big play as Jordan Love left it short for his 3rd interception, and it snaps an 8-game losing streak to the Packers.
Yeah. He got away with it. So he's 2-3. Now, they beat the Broncos in week 1, and then they win this game. It's a good win for him. I'm going to tell you it's a good win for them. I thought their defense – look, that was an offense in the second half that had been scoring some points in Green Bay. Green Bay scored some points in the second half. They've got weapons. Now, he used the heck out of the tight end in Musgrave. 7 targets, 6 catches. A little bit to Christian Watson. But where was Romeo Doubs? They played without Aaron Jones. And now they get a bye week, does Green Bay. I don't know what Green Bay is. Is Green Bay a team that battles for a playoff spot, or are they just an after-ran that's looking for a quarterback when the season's over? No, really.
I don't think they're an after-ran, but they're in that...
Or also ran, or whatever it is.
They're in that NFL...
Purgatory?
Like, you're not a terrible team. You're not where you'd like to be at the quarterback position, but you understood that going to this year. You can tell me that Jordan Love sat on the bench, but that doesn't mean he's just going to turn into a top 15 quarterback.
Yep. So you got to have patience with Jordan Love, maybe a little less patience than you'll have with Bryce Young, because he's a third-year guy instead of a first-year guy. But in reality, they're all in the same boat. It's their first year as a starter. Now, you're going to tell me Jordan Love sat under Aaron Rodgers for 3 years, and you're going to be correct. But he didn't play. And I don't. How much better do you get if you don't play? And so there's going to be these ups and downs. I'm not ready to give up on Jordan Love yet. because I've seen flashes and then I've seen this. And so I think by the end of the season, you're going to have a pretty good idea of what you've got and does he progress. But understanding that, yeah, he's a third-year guy, or what is it, the third year? You sat behind him for 2 years or 3 years?
Fourth year?
Okay. I mean, whatever it is. He was drafted in 2020.
That's the third year.
Okay. So whatever it is, he's a first-year starter. And you're going to have the same growing pains that you have with an Anthony Richardson or a Bryce Young or C.J. Stroud, for that matter. C.J. Stroud hadn't thrown an interception. You're right. So I don't have an answer for you on what he is yet. I look at a 5-game sample, and I see that he's thrown, eight touchdowns and 5, 6, 7 interceptions. To your point, his completion percentage is not above 60%, which is really, that's the one you're right. That's the one that's concerning, JJ. And if they're going to have to play without Aaron Jones for any length of time, because Corey Dillon wasn't it last night, then yeah, you got a concern. And they're going to be, and also ran, they're going to be a 7-9, 6-6 or 7-10 football team, right? They're going to win a few games and they're going to lose a few, and like last night, it's could have gone either way. But I think if you're them, you've got to treat this as a rookie quarterback situation, a little less patience, a little less leash, but the same concept because it's a first time starter in the NFL.
Yeah, it's back-to-back games with 2 or more interceptions for Jordan Love. You want that offense to get healthy going into the bye week. You'd love to see Aaron Jones back. A.J. Dillon had a solid game. Mm-hmm. The running game is really struggling for the Packers, so at least to get something out of A.J. Dillon, knowing that Aaron Jones is right around the corner, at least now you're seeing, all right, here's a couple games with Watson, Dubs, healthy, young receivers. So there's plenty to build on for the offense. Frustrating start for Jordan Love, but you feel he has the pieces to grow into something this season.
I'd like to believe that, yeah. All right, there's a lot of NFL news this morning on a Tuesday. Stuff maybe very probably you've not heard yet. When we come back, a huge injury in the National Football League. Like one of the, the best at his position in the NFL. He's going on the IR. He's out for 4 games. What that means to him, to his team, to you, it's next. And a guy who might be the best rookie non-quarterback in the NFL out as well. All of that and what it means next. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610. The Sports Animal, your home for Sunday night and Monday night. Not tonight, but Thursday night football.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us. And my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
We here at Clark's Pet Emporium welcome you to bring in your pets. We know that having your pet with you makes the experience of shopping for them even better. And we welcome you to bring your kids also. Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend.
These days, it's important to know people and businesses you can trust. There's a lot of places where you can buy a vehicle, but there's only a few local dealerships where you'll find honest people who have your best interests in mind. And Fiesta Kia is one of them. We've been helping our neighbors save money and drive dependable cars for years, and we'd love to help you. With new Kias arriving daily, you'll love our selection and the peace of mind you'll get driving a Kia from Fiesta. So stop by and see us today at Fiesta Kia on Lomas, or just start driving now at fiestakia.com.
Burglary takes place in the United States approximately every 15 seconds. International Protective Service is your answer for commercial and residential security in all of Albuquerque. IPS will work with your monitoring company for fast, reliable response times. You can rest easy knowing you, your family, or your company is watched over by International Protective Service. Call International Protective Service today.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of Pro V Sports.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This
will be on Mondays. You get a lot of injury reports. Tuesdays turn into a day right now in the National Football League. Good morning to you. Opening drive. Thank you for spending time with us. Appreciate the fact that you choose to spend time with us every morning here on The Sports Animal. I know you got a lot of options, and thank you for all your input, both, all on the text line and the email and on the phones and however it is you're contributing or consuming the show. Thank you for making that effort to do that. Appreciate you. Our big news this morning, Justin Jefferson, best receiver in the NFL right now?
Jefferson or Chase?
I mean, it's
of the month
right there, right? Well, he's not going to be for the next month. Justin Jefferson, IR, hamstring injury, will miss at least 4 games. He hurt it on Sunday, did not return in that game against the Chiefs. There was all kinds of uncertainty. They're reporting this morning, CBS lead NFL insider Jonathan Jones is reporting this morning. So the exact timeline on how long it takes him to heal, How he responds to treatment, they don't know. But he's out at least 4 games for a club that can't lose many more. So that's a big deal. I will tell you, Jordan Addison becomes a stud now, right? I mean, that Jordan Addison becomes the feature in that offense. This is a club now, JJ. They're struggling. They're losing. They won 13 games last year, won a division. Now they're 1-4. There's trade rumors around their quarterback whose contract is expiring. They get the Bears this week. And they get the Niners. But then they get the Packers, Falcons, Saints, Broncos, Bears, Raiders. Do you try to get them through that Niner game? Figure we got a chance to win all those games? Or the Kirk Cousins rumors now get a little bit louder, whether it's to whomever it happens to be?
Whomever's only the New York Jets.
So it's funny. I heard a significant amount of noise, was it last week, around the Falcons. That there was a lot of swell, a lot of commentators. And again, I always wonder where this comes from. I firmly believe the Jets noise started. I told you, and Mike Greenberg's got a platform, and he's a Jets fan, and ESPN, I want Kirk Cousins on my team, and dude, I mean, he's on everything there, and he's got a lot of power, and so I think that's where it started, and so it's taken off. I don't know if there's any reality to that, and I guess the Falcons thing can start the same way, but that I heard a lot to the Falcons because, and then Desmond Ridder went out and played pretty well this week. So I guess there's a few wherever else is, right? Are there a couple other teams?
The Falcons would be a name to put on the list.
Is there anybody else that might be a contender if you put a quarterback on there this year? I don't think so. I don't see anything. I honestly don't see anything.
Is Kirk Cousins an upgraded certain places? Yes.
Yeah, but that's not the point.
That's teams aren't just going to go acquire a quarterback, and then with the questions that comes with this, even at 1-4,
yeah,
you're not going to get Kirk Cousins for a 6th-round pick, and
you got to pay him,
and they're just bringing in him to rent. Now the Falcons one would be interesting. Like, what do you see for the future of that team? They're 3-2. Desmond Ridder's hot and cold, and it's what you expected out of Desmond Ridder this season. I'd put them on the list. I'd be intrigued, but then I also think like Arthur Smith doesn't play a brand of football that we see from Kirk Cousins.
But does he not play it because he has had Desmond Ridder and not had a Kirk Cousins?
No,
right?
It's because it's the same guy that was an offensive coordinator in Tennessee
who
that
runs
took
the
over
Yeah.
in Atlanta. And it's still why, for some reason, Tyler Algier is getting more carries than Bijan Robinson.
Yeah. They are the Falcons, a half game behind the Buccaneers in first place. Tampa Bay's 3-1, had their bye week, and the Falcons are 3-2.
Would Kirk Cousins be the best quarterback in that division? He stepped in there.
I don't know. Derek Carr took a big step last week against a pretty good defense. Now, a beat-up defense, maybe. I mean, he'd be in the conversation. There's not a runaway best quarterback in that division.
Like,
by the way, Baker's
better
playing pretty well.
About the Atlanta Falcons with Kirk Cousins than the New York Jets with Kirk Cousins. Especially now that the Jets just lost their best offensive lineman to a torn Achilles.
Is that why? I mean, you look, the Jets' defense is really good. So is Atlanta's. Atlanta's got Drake London, Bijan Robinson, Tyler Algier, Kyle Pitts, who they used a little bit last week, by the way. They actually threw him the damn ball last week.
And you're not having to jump Miami and Buffalo.
Well, and that's the key. It's your division. You're in there with New Orleans and Tampa Bay. So it's something to watch. So if you're Minnesota now, what are you thinking? I mean, at what point do you say, all right, I'm done? Halloween's right around Halloween 28th, I want to say, is the trade deadline right in there. So you've got a few weeks. You got the Bears and the Niners coming up. So let's say, well, if you lose the Bears, you're done, right?
Nothing is impossible.
Yeah.
But we've never been in this situation.
Which is
talking about trading a
franchise
just a legit starting quarterback midseason.
Yeah, that's probably right. I can't recall.
Like even
one.
for a bad team, we haven't had this conversation.
Yeah. Okay, so here we are. If you're Minnesota, his contract's up at the end of the year. If you've already made the decision, you're moving on. And I don't know that they have or have not. Everybody seems to believe they have. Do you consider it? And what do you want? What do you have to get for him?
Say at least the second round pick,
Okay.
even for a short-term rental, but you're giving up a very good asset for someone. A starting quarterback can come right in. And it would be a little tough to just expect Kirk Cousins to come in right away and,
of course,
start changing these offenses.
And then you're going with Nick Mullins the rest of the year. I mean, so you're punting. You just said, we're going from 13 wins and winning a division and being number 2 seed in the NFC to just we stink. Right? That's kind of where you're going.
And if you're Minnesota, you're that coaching staff, you're those players. If they're all right, we lost 4 one-score games.
That's right. 2017, 34-28, 28-24, and 27-20. And
trade
by the
away
way,
Kirk Cousins, you're looking at everyone and going, we still want you to play hard, but we're not giving you a chance the rest of the year.
let me give you who they lost to, because it's not like they lost to the Broncos, right? They lost to the Buccaneers, who are 3-1. They lost by a field goal. They lost to the Eagles by 6 points. Eagles are the NFC champions. They lost to the Chargers, who we think are pretty good. They blew that game, and they threw an interception at the goal line. And they lost to the Chiefs 27-20. It's not like they're getting blown out by crummy teams. Like, if you're them, you look at it and say, all right, beat the Bears this weekend and let's turn this damn thing around. Right?
And that is actually the first division game the Vikings will play this season.
Yeah. So it's all sitting in front of them. No Justin Jefferson. So what does that do to you?
You lean a little bit more on Alexander Madison.
A lot more.
Try to get that run game going. You have a first-round receiver.
You got
Jordan Addison's a first-round receiver.
And you got a stud tight end.
T.J. Hawkinson, I can see his target share grow up.
Yep.
K.J. Osborne.
Who they were leaning on
Good.
last week anyway. Yep.
Yeah, so your depth changes. Like Brandon Powell becomes a name that you're going to be reading about in fantasy football.
Pick him
Can he
up.
be the wide receiver 3 for the Vikings? That's why it's easy. You look at the Vikings at 1-4. Oh, Kirk Cousins, he's going somewhere. And Minnesota, you're like, let's play a couple division games first and see what happens.
All right. Here's another one. Devon Achane. You all picked him up if you could. He is the emerging rookie, the running back, the speedster, Miami Dolphins. He is out multiple weeks per the NFL Network. He suffered a knee injury in the win over the Giants, not expected to be season ending, but the Dolphins are going to evaluate their next step, and injured reserve could be a possibility for Achane. He would miss then the next 4 games if placed on injured reserve, just like Justin Jefferson. So their head coach, Mike McDaniel, told reporters on Monday that Achane was being evaluated. They didn't know yet. Then they put him on. This is all coming out this morning. This is a pretty big deal. Although, if anybody can afford to lose a guy, they can, because it feels like they've got so many. But this young man has been spectacular.
He's averaging 12 yards per carry.
Yeah, I want you to just fathom that. That's you need a first down. Oh, we're behind the sticks. Here, give it to that young man. It's unbelievable what he's done.
Speed.
He was on track. I don't know if he was going to be the offensive rookie of the year. I mean, if
it could work the way they're utilizing him.
Yeah,
he was pushing himself into that conversation.
Well, I mean, if you were going to tell me C.J. Stroud or Puka Nacua or him, I mean, he's moving right into that the top of that list, right?
Yeah, he's producing more than Bijan Robinson.
Yes,
last few weeks.
Undoubtedly. No, he's been terrific. So those are big injury. I don't even want to say to look at. I mean, it's there for you. Manuel, good morning. You're on the Sports Animal. Hi, Manuel.
Hey, Jeff. I couldn't yesterday. I don't know if I was cut off or something happened, but anyway, I'm here, and I just called you to make my prediction. I mean, after the fourth or fifth week, I usually make my prediction. I'm usually right. I'm going to tell you who's going to be on the American Conference side when we get to December.
Tell me, because I need to make. Yeah, I mean, I need to make a bet.
It's going to be the Chiefs, the Bills, and the Bengals will come back. Stop it right there.
Going out on a limb.
National side will be the Eagles, 49ers, and believe it or not, the Cowboys, but they're not going to win the Super Bowl. Okay, you got it right. Chiefs, Bills, Bengals, Eagles, 49ers, Cowboys. The Chiefs will win it.
Who are they going to be?
Probably against the Eagles, maybe 49ers. And I'm not going to be wishy-washy now. If the Chiefs don't win it, because it's a game of odds also, and it's tough to two-peat, it'll be the Bills. But it's the Chiefs, probably put me on the line against the Eagles, maybe 49ers. Okay, Chiefs, Eagles.
All right, it's on the board, Manuel. It's on the board. Thank you. Appreciate it.
You got it.
All
okay,
right.
You guys are doing a great job. Keep going.
Thank you, sir. All right. He's going out on a limb there, huh? I mean, all right, give me somebody off not that list. And the answer is Lions, but Chiefs, Bills, Bengals, Eagles, 49ers, Cow. Well, the Dolphins are the answer, right? Dolphins and Lions are the answer. If it's not one of those six,
Yeah.
right? I mean, he's kind of playing the numbers there, but all right. He says he's usually right, so you can take it to the bank. Well, it didn't come out of my mouth, your mouth, or your mouth. So you probably
can.
You probably can. All right, when we come back, and there's a lot going on at 505-246-0610, 888-922-0610. Who is the former Pro Bowler who said Dak Prescott sucks? And is he right? It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610. The Sports Animal, your home for Sunday night and Monday night and Thursday night football.
This report
was my family. Drunk driver hit us.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Rosendo Najar here, president of Carpenters Local 1319.
Juan Junior Gonzalez, warden of Local 1319. Some people have a misconception about what a carpenter does.
The carpentry trade entails more than just woodworking or building houses. We are responsible for 85% of a construction job site. Everything from the superintendent on down. We have a great apprenticeship program. Information can be found on our website.
Here at Clark's Pets, we understand your pets. We take meticulous time to find out more about them. Dig deep into their world to understand their needs. We do research for knowledge of each pet, so you can trust Clark's Pets to provide you the best products and service for your pets, because we work hard to understand all of their needs. Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
Hi, I'm Steve Stucker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Here at Clark's Pets, we understand your pets. We take meticulous time to find out more about them. Dig deep into their world to understand their needs. We do research for knowledge of each pet, so you can trust Clark's Pets to provide you the best products and service for your pets, because we work hard to understand all of their needs. Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
International Protective Services is a
Prescott, who called it the most humbling loss of his career, right? They lose 42-10 in what was billed as the big showdown. It was the big mid-season, early season showdown. Two of the top teams in the NFC ready for prime time. The Cowboys just weren't ready. It's the opening drive. Jeff, JJ, and DC. You can get in at 505-246-0610. So Dak had three interceptions, one touchdown. So after the game, look, everybody's got a show, everybody's got a mic, everybody's got an opinion. That's what you're there for. Do you remember Dante Whitner, former Pro Bowler? So he's currently an analyst on NBC Sports Bay Area. Okay, he's a former safety in the National Football League. And they were talking about the game. They were on the field. They were doing their post-game show. And Dante Whitner's take is, quote, Dak Prescott sucks, period, end quote. Does Dak Prescott suck? He went on to say, the Cowboys talk so much about Dak Prescott being a top-tier quarterback, franchise guy. I don't see it. I see them trying to cover up for what he lacks, a lot of quick throws, cutting half the field off and giving him easy throws. Other than that, he's not a quarterback that can drop back and really take advantage of a defense and carve it up today, and we've seen it. The 49ers made him look like a tier 4 quarterback, end quote. All right. Does Dak Prescott suck?
No. Give me that last portion of that quote. Mm-hmm. That's good analysis. That's a good football take.
The 49ers defense made him look like a tier 4 quarterback.
Talking about how they run the offense. And it's funny when we talk about quarterbacks so many times that when people make a statement like, this dude's not elite, it's like you're breaking news.
Okay.
Like, okay, not every quarterback is going to win its game by itself. Well,
but they've been trying to stuff down your throat that he is. But yeah. And that's why
we've all seen past that by now. Except Cowboy fans and Jerry Jones.
Yep.
But it's also a conversation when you have this conversation is, are you handing the whole franchise over to Cooper Rush? Like, what's been the better option the last few years when you're winning 12 or 13 games a season, you're getting to the playoffs, and now we're supposed to sit here and act like, well, this whole time this dude's been trash. I think a terrible take just to say someone sucks. That's why I agree with Jim Rome. Now give me the breakdown on it, and then you go, that's why offenses run systems. Like coaches coach to work through the levels of talent you have.
And deficiencies. I think the bigger conversation and why this is such a big conversation, well, there's a number of reasons. They've committed so much to him that his contract has not been extended and he's up for extension. Will he be around next year? He's 30 years old. They have a roster that they believe every single year, whether they're right or they're not right, is ready to be a Super Bowl roster if the quarterback plays at that level, and he doesn't. And so the conversation's real because, they also went and got Trey Lance. So the conversation is real. Is are you turning it over to Cooper Rush? No, you're not turning it over to Cooper Rush, but are you turning it over to someone after this season?
It would be giving yourself the ability to just move on. You eat it for 2024. Take a $61 million cap hit.
I mean, eat that. Eat that.
Because you're so ready to be done.
And
with
look,
Dak Prescott, you let Trey Lance and Cooper Rush compete. It's going to be hard to bring in a veteran quarterback with some oomph eating that cap number.
No, you got to draft a Brock Purdy. You got to get lucky low in the draft and find some dude, and you're not going to.
Or be in the QB3 first round market.
There's no chance Cooper Rush is the guy, right?
Well, Dak Prescott's gone. That's where you're starting.
Okay.
All right, these are the quarterbacks we have.
I got
And then it's veteran X.
Here's what I know.
Draft.
I know that he was, 4-1 last year? Okay. I know I've watched Sam Howell be an NFL quarterback. I'm not telling you we'll see. I've watched Desmond Ridder and Jordan Love, and I watched what Brock Purdy's become. You don't have to be a top 10 draft or even a first-round draft pick to be a good quarterback in the NFL, right? Have we proven that by now?
That's what Dak Prescott is.
He's the third-round pick. Yep. When was the last time the Cowboys had? Who was the last Cowboys high draft pick at quarterback? I mean, Drew Bledsoe was there for a minute, but he wasn't their draft pick. Who was the last Cowboy?
Troy Aikman?
I think it probably was Troy.
I mean, think of that. And that was the last time they won, right? Was it 26 years ago or something? I mean, if you want to go back through all the dudes they've gone through, it's kind of crazy, isn't it?
He was 89, I'm pretty sure.
I wonder if they're the last. Like if you go back the furthest, I'm not even sure how I would research this, but which team has gone the longest since having a first-round draft pick start at quarterback? A first round that they picked, not Drew Bledsoe coming over there. I don't even know how I would research that, but think about that. I mean, I haven't even really thought about it. So their last bunch of quarterbacks, and God bless Tony Romo, he had a career, right? He had a pretty good career. Who was before Romo? It was Bledsoe, right? He took over for Bledsoe, didn't he?
Yes.
Who was before Bledsoe?
So they had...
Oof.
They had a Quincy Carter year.
Yeah. That wasn't a first-round pick.
Chad Hutchinson.
I don't remember Chad Hutchinson.
Vinny Testaverde.
All right, but he wasn't their first-round pick. Vinny was a first-round pick, but not theirs.
Yeah, these are the quarterbacks, and then they're like, oh, we found this Tony Romo dude.
Yeah. Who was before that?
For Aikman?
Well, no. So after...
No, it was Quincy Carter, Hutchinson,
That's all,
Testaverde.
I just felt like there was
Bledsoe,
more. Okay.
Romo.
All right.
Romo injury year, so John Kitna. Matt Castle.
Where did John Kitna go to college? Come on. Wildcats.
The Cowboys have only drafted quarterback in the first round twice. It's 1965, Craig Morton, and Troy Aikman in 89.
Really?
The Saints,
That's got to by far be the lowest amount of first-round quarterback picks by anybody, no?
Saints.
Archie Manning the only one?
1971.
They've never drafted a quarterback in the first round.
1971.
And they've had one quarterback that you would go since Archie Manning. So in their history, you would say they've had two quarterbacks. Oh, Bob, what about Bobby Hebert? Yeah, what about Bobby Hebert? No, honestly. So that's a franchise that you would say in the history of their franchise, they've had two good quarterbacks, right? Archie Manning, Drew Brees. Drew Brees came over from the Chargers. That's insane. So all right. So how many of the Browns drafted the first round? No, honestly.
18.
Right. Central Washington, by the way. John Kitna. Wildcat. Ellensburg, New Mexico. Or Ellensburg, Washington. Coldest I've ever been, I think, interviewing John Kitna. Young me. Dumb California boy. Winter. Not geared. Hands just, I went, it was Halloween weekend. My first year in Yakima, I went Central Washington was really good. NAIA, they were ranked like second or third in the country. Big game against, I don't know, Western Washington. I don't know who the hell, Eastern Oregon, whatever. And so I went down to Ellensburg on a Wednesday, midweek, Tuesday probably, to go to do their practice and get a soundbite. One-man band. I'm out there, got my 3/4-inch deck over my shoulder, and I put on my California warm jacket. And
this is nice.
And it was going through the pass over to Ellensburg. It was starting to snow sideways. I'm like, and I'm starting to slide in my little Ford Escort news truck. And then I got there, and I'm one-man banding it. So I got my deck on my left shoulder, camera on my right shoulder, holding the microphone out to him with my left hand. No gloves, wind whipping, 22 degrees. I don't think I've ever been colder in my life. Snot sticking to my face. He was cool as hell, by the way. A number of times we went out and covered Central. But yeah, I was about as cold as I've ever been. And that's when I went and bought a jacket. And I was a California kid up in Yakima. What am I doing, dude? It was just stupid. All right, 505-246-0610. I want your thoughts. When you hear, as a Cowboy fan, a former All-Pro who's now a commentator say your quarterback sucks, and then he kind of tells you why, I don't know, man. What are you doing, Cowboy fan? You have a whole different feeling right now than you did after week 2. Is he right? Is there something to it? It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the sports animal, your home for Sunday night and Monday night and Thursday night football.
This report is sponsored by...
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us. And my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
We here at Clark's Pet Emporium welcome you to bring in your pets. We know that having your pet with you makes the experience of shopping for them even better. And we welcome you to bring your kids also. Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Hi, I'm Steve Stunker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Sweet Rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com. ProView Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit hanswhitlerauto.com.
Hi, I'm Steve Stunker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
Hey, JJ's right. Say something or someone sucks. It's not really a take. We kind of added a little more to it. Dante Whitner, the former safety, Pro Bowl safety on NBC Sports in the Bay Area. That was his take of Cowboy quarterback Tony Romo.
The back half, I get. I'm like, okay. That is a good breakdown of quarterback play.
Tony, good morning. You're on the Sports Animal. Thanks for holding. Good morning, Tony.
He sucks. That's my take. No. Good morning, gentlemen. How you guys doing today?
What's happening?
Oh, it is what it is. But look, I'm going to take a page out of your book, okay? Because you've said this numerous times.
Yeah.
Everybody loves the backup until the backup has to play.
Yep.
And that's what it is. All the Cowboy fans look at, and I am a proud member of Dallas Cowboy Hater Nation. I'm a proud member. I'll fly that flag, 24/7, 365. I love it. But them Cowboy fans, they're just they need their own sitcom because that's how funny they are. Okay, but again, page out of your book. Everybody loves the backup Everybody loves the backup until the backup has to play. And there's 2 jobs in the United States that are the most scrutinized ever. One is President of the United States. Everybody's going to complain about that. And quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys. And it's true. But the Cowboys are not going to do anything with Dak. They're not going to. Jerry Jones loves that guy so much. Why? I have no idea. And Dak he's a regular season quarterback. That's all he is. He's a regular season quarterback. He's going to put up fantastic numbers, really, really good numbers during the regular season. But come playoff time, playoff games in any sport is a different animal. It's not just a one-man thing, unless you're Jordan. But then again, we saw with Jordan. Jordan couldn't do anything until Pippen and Rodman and all them guys started coming. But playoffs are just different, and one guy cannot do it. And they're counting on Dak so much when it's a team game. And until they realize that, they're going to be in the same boat that they've been in for the last 30 years.
Got it. All right, Tony. Thank you. I'll tell you what, the Cowboys feel that they've got him, his Pippen and his Rodman. Jerry Jones on the radio right now. He's doing his 105.3 The Fan in Dallas right now. Quote Jerry Jones, "I completely believe we have the quarterback that can take us where we want to go. Dak Prescott is a quarterback that can get us to the Super Bowl, and that's the way that's going to be." End quote. Jerry Jones this morning on Dallas radio. So there's your support.
And you know what?
Yeah.
Jerry Jones shouldn't be saying anything different.
I agree with that.
I
agree with that.
We rip on Jerry Jones for talking all the time and getting in the way. Like, even if it's a statement that is going to blow up on social media, every fan is going to laugh at it. Like, the owner should not be saying anything else than that right now. Because they're not trading Dak Prescott and they're not cutting Dak Prescott. He's your starting quarterback the rest of the year.
When he was asked if CeeDee Lamb needs to get the ball more, I don't know about that. What I want to see is the ball spread around to several wide receivers and tight ends. Okay? All right. Dan Quinn, the defensive coordinator, Dallas Cowboys, quote, "When you get your ass kicked, you really only got a couple of choices in a fight. You pout about it or you get back up and say, bring it on. And you're getting rocking again. We're not going to let this game beat us twice." Okay? They're saying the right things. Who do they get next? They get the Chargers, right?
At the Chargers, host the Rams, at the Eagles, next 3.
Oh, by the way, since we were on the injury list, Leighton Vander Esch, not probably, 4 weeks, injured reserve. He's out again. Injured his neck. He's out 4 to 6 weeks. So that's a defensive injury, I understand. But that's it. That's something, isn't it? It's something. Let's see if Jerry's speaking a little bit more. I'm going to try to get you some more updates. There'll be more quotes coming out from Jerry because he's just wrapping up his little weekly appearance on 105.3 The Fan in Dallas. But I think that's pretty much it, right? I mean, that's what you need. I got a few more for you. 505-246-0610. Cowboy fan, where do you go? Well, you go on to SoFi and try to beat the Chargers. And just don't out-Charger the Charger like everyone else has been. And you should be okay. It's the opening drive. Glad you're with us on a beautiful Tuesday morning. What's the backwards D on Dak Prescott's hat? You know, the backwards Dallas D that he wears? What does that mean? What does that signify, the backwards D? Just curious. 95.9 FM and AM 610. The Sports Animal, your home for Sunday night and Monday night and Thursday night football.
Olivas going to the corner of the end zone. Nice grab there by Josh Jackson, and that's going to be a touchdown, El Dorado.
Their strong point, their focal point.
Nelson will keep it himself for some room on the right side. Nelson's on his feet, and he is in. It's a touchdown for Noah Nelson.
Sliding, they slid out of going out there. Linebacker, they're going for the big gutter play. How did he hold on to that, Ethan Olguin? My goodness, a 32-yard bomb. He's going to launch this one long, and it's a little bit short, but what a pull down. Fabian Trujillo, unbelievable, this man.
Dyer back to pass. Pressure, gets out of it nicely. On the sideline, got an open man. It's Lambrana. Cheeto made one miss. Cuts back up the middle. Another cut to the right, and he's all the way down at the 10-yard line.
That's Sweet Junior?
Right?
Junior right
What a move there by Cheeto Lambrera.
Second and 1, give it to Gallus. Once again, he evades one tackle, evades two. Breaking into the open, there's a block, bye-bye. And he breaks the last tackle to get through. Jack Gallus with the touchdown.
defense so far. Vukovic, and that ball is ripped up. Bernalillo will have this ball at the 1 yard line.
The extra yards for Cheeto. Dyer quickly, it's batted into the air, and it is picked off. Rams football as Rio Rancho finally gets the turnover they need as it's tipped into the waiting arms of Vincente Tafoya. Ryan Brown had punched it into the air and allowed Tafoya to come away with it. Let's see if Nelson can make it pay.
back.
No! LaQueva gets it back on another tip drill. It falls into the waiting arms of the senior Luke Ryder.
Kick is up. It will bounce into the arms of Daniel Garcia, and Garcia explodes through the middle. He dodges Castro, and Garcia will run that one back from about the 17-yard line. Call that one an 83-yard touchdown rush.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
The coordinators and trying to explain what the hell happened Sunday night in San Francisco or in Santa Clara, if you prefer. It's the opening drive, Jeff, JJ, and DC. You can get in at 505-246-0610. Feel free to do so. We'll do the red zone. I don't know. You ready? You want to do about 8:30? We'll be ready for that? We'll do red zone at 8:30. Brian Schottenheimer, the offensive coordinator, was asked if Dak was pressing in the second half. I don't think so. He's a competitor. Talking to him on the sideline, he was in a good spot. All right. Dan Quinn, whose defense got torched. There's no finger pointing in our group. We're extremely disappointed, but I also know what we're made of. All right. 505-246-0610. Let's go, Cowboy fan. How you feeling? And that's the way it's going to be. Jerry Jones, I completely believe we have the quarterback that can take us where we want to go. Dak Prescott is a quarterback that can get us to the Super Bowl, and that's the way it's going to be. It's my quarterback. That's what I heard, right? That's my quarterback. Jeff, Dallas has, this is on the text line, Dallas has about as good a chance of making the NFL playoffs as Lobo have of making the college football playoff. The real question is, what's the over-under on what week McCarthy gets fired? Jerry's not big on firing guys in season, is he?
I don't think the Cowboys are a playoff team. Blew out the boat by the 49ers. Here's the thing for Dallas.
Yeah.
They still play 2 games against Philadelphia. Somehow you win that first game, you can convince yourself in anything. They get to play the Lions. So they still have regular season tests against teams in the NFC that people say are better than the Dallas Cowboys. And I don't know what decision you want to make on Dak Prescott now. If you want to tell me Dak Prescott's never going to win a championship, okay, then after the season, cut bait. You're not changing anything with your starting quarterback right now.
You said something on the way out. You said Kirk Cousins, their quarterback next year. I could totally see it. I could totally see it.
Like if you're just done with Dak Prescott and you say, you've hit the ceiling with the Cowboys, and I'm sure Dak Prescott, too, if they fail in the playoffs, if they miss the playoffs, all that frustration. If Dak Prescott starting for the Falcons next year, just like Kirk Cousins, they'd feel better than where they are now. Depending on if there was some setback and Aaron Rodgers didn't come back, the Jets would feel better with Dak Prescott.
Yeah, I was listening to something, one of the national shows. I think it was yesterday. Well, Dak Prescott's going to get paid. He's going to get paid. He's going to get his, $50-something million. Really? It just comes down to, are you going to pay him? I'm like, wait. What do I not see? So if the Cowboys don't pay Dak that high Mahomes, Burrow, Allen, Herbert kind of money, then somebody else is going to go do it? Who?
Like, he's not a free agent next year. Like, he's still under
That's
contract.
right. That's right. That's right.
So he's getting paid. Everyone's acting like he needs to get paid.
Yeah, he's eligible
under
to
contract.
get extended. Yes.
There's no extension coming if I'm the Cowboys.
Yes.
With Dak Prescott.
Yes. I just don't get it. Text line. Eastern New Mexico lost to Central Washington last Saturday, 38-35 at Ellensburg in a conference game. Yes, they did. Yes, they did. Eastern's 3-3, and they are 1-3 in Lone Star Conference games. That game was up in Ellensburg, and you are absolutely correct. Eastern got beat. It was back and forth all game, too. But yes, that's correct. All right, 505-246-0610. Omar's in at Jeff at sportsanimалabq.com. JJ at sportsanimалabq.com. It says the NFL's most complete franchise, the Dallas Cowboys, needs to use these final 2 months to see if our quarterback of the future is on campus, Jeff. If not, I expect Coach Jones to be active in the transfer portal in the offseason. Omar, what you got to understand is what JJ just said to you. He's under contract for next year. What's his cap hit next year? $61 million or something crazy?
Oh, if you cut him.
If you cut him.
Cap hit is only 59. So they're going to have to restructure. At some point, if they keep Dak Prescott around, there's a restructured contract, but there's not going to be here's a $60 million per year contract.
What's the incentive for him to restructure if he doesn't get more? No, honestly.
The fact that they just outright cut him.
Okay. They're going to take that $61 million hit?
Well, the way everyone's talking.
Yeah. But they won't. And then he will go sign somewhere else. He's going to get money. He's not going to get $60 million.
Why is he going to restructure? Because he's going to be a 31-year-old quarterback, knowing that if the Cowboys want you around, you still have the potential to win double-digit football games. Because if we say, here's the problem.
Yeah.
What happens is we get so hyper-focused on, well, this team, you're not winning the Super Bowl, so let's just cut everybody. And everyone's like, oh, then go get this next quarterback, go get that quarterback.
You're right. They're in a
like, am I picking Dak Prescott after what we just saw? Like, San Francisco is going to make you cut 29 other quarterbacks.
All right. Or make a. You're smart enough. I'm smart enough. Most of us are smart enough. Make paint yourself a broader picture.
Like, if I'm
don't
Dallas,
just base it on this 142-10 beatdown, but go over the whole thing. All right. So, but you're still in purgatory. All right. Let me ask you this. I'll play a little game with you. Who's got a better or worse? I mean, which quarterback situation would you prefer? Who's got a worse quarterback situation? Would you rather be Seattle or would you rather be Dallas with your quarterback right now?
The push to me.
All right. Carolina.
Dallas.
Okay. New Orleans.
Dallas.
I'd rather be New Orleans. Minnesota.
I like Kirk Cousins.
I do too. Green Bay.
Dallas.
Chicago.
Dallas.
It's a tough one. I don't know. Last 2 games made you think he's coming back. Washington.
Dallas.
Probably. Vegas.
Dallas.
Okay. Houston.
Me
too.
CJ Stroud.
Yep.
Rocket ship.
Yep. Cleveland.
Dallas. Because
I think so too.
Dak Prescott, he's
neither one of
someone
them
I can
good.
trust.
Yep.
He used to be available.
Yep.
And now all of a sudden I'm not thinking with Deshaun Watson, are you hurt or are you injured?
Pittsburgh.
Dallas.
I think so. All right, so you're better than about eight places, and there's some that I didn't ask you. I didn't ask you about Denver because it's obvious. I didn't ask you about Arizona. I mean, dude, we've forgotten about Kyler Murray. Would you rather be Arizona or Dallas quarterback situation right now?
To me, I would call that a push because you want to see what Kyler Murray looks like when he returns from his injury, and we're so accustomed to just expecting these guys to come back from major injuries and be ready to go. And I understand what the hype, the over analysis when it comes to the Cowboys quarterback, but I think everyone, not named Jerry Jones, he's just doing his job. Like, he can't be throwing Dak Prescott under the bus.
I get that. I appreciate
that's actually the right move Jerry Jones is making.
I think you're right.
This week.
Yeah.
I think we all understand, like, Dak Prescott is properly rated.
Middle of the pack, dude. He's middle of the pack. Jerry, good morning. You're on The Sports Animal. Hi, Jerry.
Morning, fellas. How's it going?
Good. How you living?
I am great. I think you guys are absolutely correct. Jerry Jones is not doing anything this year. Mike McCarthy's going nowhere. Dak Prescott's going nowhere. The fact that Cowboys fans in general want to cut bait on their quarterback after getting beat by a team that I think is honestly a buzzsaw. There are going to be a lot of teams who get embarrassed by the 49ers this year, and at that point it's not embarrassing, right?
Right.
It's like you guys are saying. It's just a ridiculous idea. However, I would first of all love nothing more than to see the Cowboys just languish in purgatory forever. That would make me happy. I would love that, right? Watching all of my friends who are Cowboys fans in pain for years and years and years because their team is consistently anywhere between 6 and 11, and that's the ideal outcome. Anyways, however, if the Cowboys, what would be fun for them, can we get Shedeur Sanders to the Cowboys, sit under Dak for a year, and go from there? Would we not love to see Shedeur Sanders, Jerry Jones, get Dion in there?
And then he hires Dion. Yeah, that's something. All right, I'll buy into that. That'd be
the
yes.
NFL goes crazy, right?
Yes.
The marketing, you can picture it.
And then they could maybe somehow get Travis Kelce and bring Kelce and Taylor Swift into that and make that a complete zoo. Yes, please. I'm in. Yeah. Great call, Jerry.
There you go.
Thanks, man. Yeah, I'm in. Please. Sign me up. Shedeur Sanders, Dion, get Kelce somehow. I don't know. I mean, it doesn't happen. And Taylor Swift and make that the zoo that he wants it to be. Come on.
Yeah.
Come on. Yes. Yes, please would be the answer. All right, 505-246-0610. And if you want to get in on that, you can. I'm where it is. We got injuries and injuries and injuries. We got a crazy ending in baseball last night. It was, I've never seen anything like it. Yeah, Braves fan, Dodger fan. Dodger fan, where are you? Are you done? How are they digging out of this hole with no pitching right now? They may be done. How are you digging out of this? And when we come back, all the yakety yak. It's about getting the ball and what do you do with it next? Who's the best in the league at that? Next, and why it's so important on the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610. The Sports Animal, your home for Sunday night and Monday night and Thursday night football.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us. And my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
We here at Clark's Pet Emporium welcome you to bring in your pets. We know that having your pet with you makes the experience of shopping for them even better. And we welcome you to bring your kids also. Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend.
These days, it's important to know people and businesses you can trust. There's a lot of places where you can buy a vehicle, but there's only a few local dealerships where you'll find honest people who have your best interests in mind. And Fiesta Kia is one of them. We've been helping our neighbors save money and drive dependable cars for years, and we'd love to help you. With new Kias arriving daily, you'll love our selection and the peace of mind you'll get driving a Kia from Fiesta. So stop by and see us today at Fiesta Kia on Lomas, or just start driving now at fiestakia.com.
Burglary takes place in the United States approximately every 15 seconds. International Protective Service is your answer for commercial and residential security in all of Albuquerque. IPS will work with your monitoring company for fast, reliable response times. You can rest easy knowing you, your family, or your company is watched over by International Protective Service. Call International Protective Service today.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking.
All right, we'll get into the red zone here coming up at 8:30 this morning. Those of you who, I know on Tuesdays, you were kind of used to getting Jerry Kill conversation, the New Mexico State football coach. They play Wednesday this week. In October, they will play midweek games. So the intent now and the plan, and I had that verified the other day, was to have a conversation with Jerry Kill on Friday at 7:15. Aggies will play tomorrow on national TV on CBS Sportsnet. Home game tomorrow night against Sam Houston. Aggies are 3-3, and so Jerry Kill's scheduled to be with us on Friday at 7:15 in the morning. Opening drive, Jeff, JJ, DC, and UC. You can call us at 505-246-0610. All right, so we look at stats, right? We say, oh, that quarterback's throwing for a zillion yards. What a great year he's having. And stats are stats, and they tell a story. Yak is a big deal. Yakety yak, yards after contact, yards after catch. Tua Tagovailoa, the Dolphins. This is a pretty amazing number, right? I mean, he's got 1,614 passing yards. In a 17-game season, that puts him on pace to throw for almost 5,500 yards. The all-time mark is 5,477. He's about 11 yards ahead of that pace right now. It's Peyton Manning's number. It was a 16-game season in 2013. How much is he overcredited for throwing a 5-yard slant and a dude taking off for 80 yards? An insane amount, right?
Yeah, in this offense, with the speed that they have getting it to Tyreek Hill, what we've seen out of Devon Achane in the backfield, I believe 233 of his yards against the Giants were after the catch.
Out of how many?
That's it was over 300 that he threw for. That's what you have Tyreek Hill for. That's why you put him in an offense with Tua.
He had 308 yards. You said 233 of them were after the catch. It's insane, right? So basically, he threw for, would you tell me, 70, 81 yards. That's
brilliant. That's what you do. We sit here and talk about, oh, this quarterback is not elite and he has to overcome this, overcome that. That's what coaching is for. That's what, all right, this is our quarterback. What style fits him? And Mike McDaniel is an absolute home run. He's like, we're going to have the fastest players with an accurate quarterback. Look what we can do.
Is he the new boy genius right now? Mike McDaniel. Is he the new, right? It was Sean McVay and everything like 3 years ago. Everything the Rams coach touched turned to gold, and everybody wanted to hire one of his guys. Zach Taylor got a job, and all these guys got jobs, right? Now Mike McDaniel is the next generation of taking what he did with Kyle Shanahan, right? And
so you have your young OGs, which is McVay and Kyle Shanahan.
Yeah, maybe even Zach Taylor, Cincinnati.
Mike McDaniel is by far a better play designer than Zach Taylor.
Well, yeah. But I'm putting him in that group. Those young, or would you call them the young OGs?
The young OGs are like McVay and Kyle Shanahan.
Okay.
And then as you were describing what's branched off of them, Ben Johnson in Detroit is going to get a lot of interviews this offseason.
Who's hotter, Ben Johnson or at this point Eric Bieniemy?
Ben Johnson.
Eric Bieniemy's proven now. If he continues to do this with Sam Howell and Washington's offense, I understand they're 2-3, but they look different, don't they? Now they laid an egg against the Bears the other day, but I don't know if they're a top 10 offense, he gets a job, doesn't he? Finally. How many do you think jobs will be open as we sit here in week 5? I look around the league. I think the Chargers job is opening. I just do. I think they hired so many new coaches last year. Tampa Bay may open.
Yeah.
Chicago is going to probably be open. I mean, I'll say it. Is the Cowboy job, is this McCarthy's last year? Is Ron Rivera up in Washington? They just got new ownership.
Will they just slide Eric Bieniemy over?
Maybe. But I'll say one of those jobs open, so that's 4. Belichick? Is New England getting a new coach?
With New England, I don't see it being Bill Belichick. I see Robert Kraft going, all right, you need to make the biggest change you've ever made. Like, get your homeboys out of here.
Okay.
Like, bring someone in outside the organization to run an offense.
Okay. So you think he'll be
I think they take that step
okay
before they tell Bill to kick rocks.
Cleveland?
Yeah, that one is on the table. Like, Kevin Stefanski is, all right, where are we going with this?
Yep.
It's not Sean Watson going anywhere. He's guaranteed all the money.
Chargers?
Do they charge her at the end of the season?
Yes. Yeah, when they don't make the playoffs, they can't bring Brandon Staley back again, right?
They miss the playoffs, he's gone.
Raiders? I mean, you and a lot of people are really not a fan of Josh McDaniels as a head coach. I miss one? There's going to be something else that pops up, right? Sean McVay's always threatening to retire, isn't he? I mean, hell, he's like 31 years old or something. It's about time he retires. I'm kidding. Yeah. There's some jobs open, I think. How long does Pete Carroll want to do this? I mean, you got a couple of dudes in their 70s, right? Belichick and Carroll. How long does Andy Reid want to do it? He's going to do it as long as Mahomes is there, right? He goes out with Mahomes.
Feels about right.
I mean, why wouldn't he? It's right into the sunset together. Yeah, but there's some really good young offensive minds. There's some really good young offensive minds. All right, keep them coming. You got good stuff coming in today. 505-246-0610. New England Patriots job probably going to be open too, says the text line. Yeah, I mean, there's a really good chance of that. There's a really good chance that one. I mean, I know, and as Patriot fans, there's many of you who don't remember what Patriots football looked like without Bill Belichick as the head coach. I mean, it's been this whole century, correct? It's just insanity when you think about it. And you think about how many coaches the Cleveland Browns have gone through, or the Detroit Lions, or right? I mean, just when I think of the Steelers, about 3 coaches for like the last, I want to say, is it 4 decades? Chuck Noll and Bill Cowher and Mike Tomlin. And then you look at some franchises like, I don't know, the Texans. They've had more, and they haven't even been around that long. What does security do for you? I mean, there's something to it, right? How many they had? So you go back to that. So Chuck Noll was when? 70 what?
1969.
69?
Through 91.
So the 70s, 80s, 90s, the zeros. So 5.5 decades almost. They've had 3 coaches?
That is correct.
I want you to register that run that through your head for a minute.
That is insane.
5.5 decades. A half a century, they've had 3 coaches? That is freaking bonkers. I mean, you get one dude and you hit him for 20 years, you hit the lottery. Wow. Now, they haven't always been good, but I mean, that's that family, and they have patience, and for the most part, they've been pretty damn good, right? 5.5 decades. How many coaches have the Broncos had this decade? And it's 2023. They've had 3, right? They've had Fangio. Yeah, they've had 3 this decade, and it's 2023. Wasn't he in 2020?
Kubiak, Fox.
Well, this decade.
Oh, this decade. Sorry.
Yeah, and it's only 2023. They've had 3 this
Lost
decade.
track of time.
They've had 3 in the last 3 years, and the Steelers have had 3 in the last 50 or 49 years. It's insanity.
Broncos did have an interim coach at the end of last year, too, so you could
Who was
say
that?
4. Joe.
They had an interim?
Yeah, when they fired Hackett.
I guess that's right,
Yeah,
huh?
they won the last 2 out of 3.
I guess that's right. Yeah, who was it? Totally forgot who their interim coach was.
You didn't even remember.
It wasn't
I'm
Nick,
not putting this on my
it wasn't
resume.
Nick Bisaccia. He wasn't that damn good. Yeah, all right. So you get 4 in the last 3 years, and they've had 3 in the last 49. I'm sorry, more than that. 54. 54. Yeah, it's bonkers. All right, when we come back, we'll get into the red zone. You got some Dak stuff in there. The Rams are in there. You got quarterback stuff, undefeated stuff. We'll get through the red zone when we come back here on The Sports Animal on your home for Sunday night, Monday night, and Thursday night football. I want to tell you about On-the-Spot Automotive Detailing because they're one of my favorite things. It's honestly one of my favorite things when I know OTS is coming out and detailing my vehicle. They come to me because I'm busy. I'm at the office. They're out in the parking lot, and they detail my vehicle. So what does that even mean? I know everybody asks me that. Well, what do you mean they detail inside, outside? So they clean it, they wax it, they all that stuff, right? Inside, outside, under the hood, around the rims. The detail isn't just what you do when you wash your car. I mean, it's in all the little crevices and cracks, and it's like, remember the day you took your car off the lot? Remember when it was brand new? That's what it's like. That's what detailing is. That's what all the car dealers do. They have your vehicle detailed. Well, On-the-Spot Automotive Detailing does it better than anybody, and they do it at your convenience, when it's convenient and where it's convenient. Don't know where they are, but they know where I am, and that's what matters. Get your car professionally detailed. Get a fresh coat of wax, even some ceramic coating. That's the best way to protect your car, and here come the elements, right? Here comes winter. Here comes weather. On-the-Spot offers 10% discount to our military and to teachers. Schedule by calling them at 505-859-2859. 505-859-2859. Or you can go online and schedule at otsdetailing.com.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Rosendo Najar here, president of Carpenters Local 1319.
Juan Junior Gonzalez, warden of Local 1319. Some people have a misconception about what a carpenter does.
The carpentry trade entails more than just woodworking or building houses. We are responsible for 85% of a construction job site. Everything from the superintendent on down. We have a great apprenticeship program. Information can be found on our website.
Here at Clark's Pets, we understand your pets. We take meticulous time to find out more about them. Dig deep into their world to understand their needs. We do research for knowledge of each pet, so you can trust Clark's Pets to provide you the best products and service for your pets, because we work hard to understand all of their needs. Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
Hi, I'm Steve Stunker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Here at Clark's Pets, we understand your pets. We take meticulous time to find out more about them. Dig deep into their world to understand their needs. We do research for knowledge of each pet, so you can trust Clark's Pets to provide you the best products and service for your pets, because we work hard to understand all of their needs. Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com. we would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family.
Ended last night with the Raiders beating the Packers 17-14 on Monday Night Football. I found a few things that watched the game last night that were good. Thank goodness Peyton and Eli were on. They had Jimmy Kimmel. There was some funny stuff. Thank goodness there was baseball on to flip over to. That game wasn't a great watch, was it? I love me some football, and I had a lot of interests in that game last night, if you know what I'm talking about. And I was getting pissed. So it's a good thing that there was a lot of baseball to flip over to. That wasn't a great one. We've had some great games, but that was a little disappointing from the Jordan Love side. All right. You want to go in the red zone? Vámonos.
How much you want to make a bet I can throw a football over the mountains?
Are you crazy? I'm saying you're a football player.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to Tom Brady this game.
You're in the red zone with Jeff Symbieta and JJ Bach.
Let's go, baby!
It's first and goal.
All right, as you said, we are 5 games into the season, and only 2 teams are still undefeated. Those teams are the Eagles and 49ers. They happen to play each other in Week 13. Will these teams still be undefeated when they meet in December?
No, it's because the NFL and they're going to lose somewhere. I don't know where the Niners are going to lose. I look at it and, do they stumble in Jacksonville? Does Tampa Bay get them? Do they stumble in Seattle? Just the numbers tell me the answer is no, that they're going to get beat because it's the NFL somewhere along the way.
San Francisco 49ers will be undefeated when they play the Philadelphia Eagles, who will have a loss.
You think they got a chance to run the table?
Yes.
Okay. Somebody else told me yesterday, Ryan hit me the other day, said, I'm calling it now, they're 19-0 good. The Niners. I say no.
I think the Niners' first loss can come to the Eagles, but I think Philadelphia ends up dropping one game before they get there, because Philadelphia plays the Dolphins, they play Kansas City, they play the Bills before that day. So I think Philadelphia drops one because they've been playing close games. But San Francisco was undefeated, and if they beat Philadelphia, they're going undefeated in regular season.
Second and goal.
Ready, down, put.
All right, Dak Prescott threw only 1 interception in the first 4 games of the season. Then he threw 3 in Week 5. After throwing 15 interceptions last year, Dak said he was going to get that issue under control. Right now, Prescott is on pace to end the season with 13.6 interceptions. Over under 13 total interceptions for Dak this year.
I'll take the under.
Just because. I'll take the over. Just cause, I think it's won a game. Balls get tipped. I'll go over. Just because. He went under.
Third and goal.
All right, rumors are starting to buzz as the NFL trade deadline is coming soon. That would be October 31st. Kirk Cousins, Derrick Henry, Devontae Adams, and Ryan Tannehill are some of the bigger names being tossed around. Do you expect any of these guys or any other big-name players to move in the next 3 weeks, and who are the potential buyers?
Yeah, something's going to happen. The name that I thought that was going to happen, and now that they're 3-1, I've kind of put on the back shelf, was Mike Evans. I thought that they were going to be horrible. He was going to get cranky, and all of a sudden Baker's played well. So I almost put that on the back shelf. I look through, you got to go look through some of the teams that are really struggling, and Jerry Jeudy's a guy that jumps off the page to me a little bit. Is there any interest in him? Something will happen. I don't know that I can sit here and just pull a name out of my lower crevice and tell you this is who it's going to be. It wouldn't stun me if it's a quarterback either, like a Tannehill.
I'd be shocked.
Really?
Shocked. You don't trade starting quarterbacks in midseason. It doesn't matter who you are or where you are. It doesn't happen. If Tennessee was going to make a move, they would have handed the franchise over to one of the young quarterbacks they selected
if they were ready
by this point in time.
Yeah, if they were ready.
And if they're not ready now, why are you trading Ryan Tannehill next week?
Yeah, and if you go to 2-3, 2-4, 2-5, that's why. That's why it wouldn't shock me. I don't expect a quarterback to.
I would be shocked.
Yeah,
just
I would.
Show even the list of all right, who's drafted first round quarterback, who's traded a starting quarterback midseason.
I know it doesn't. We're seeing stuff that happen that hasn't happened before.
Like what?
Like what?
Like when it comes to trades.
Look at trades over the last 3 years. We used to never see in season
That's
trades.
like Chase Claypool or a Jerry Jeudy.
Yeah, but
linebacker.
or I don't know. Christian McCaffrey's pretty freaking good. I mean, didn't that happen last year? That was a pretty big trade.
Starting quarterback.
Yeah.
Like I think if you're making,
I'm not expecting it. It won't shock me.
If you're making that move, like if you're desperate for one, I guess you throw some stuff out there. But I do not see a starting quarterback, and it to me, Derrick Henry and Ryan Tannehill, if they're competitive, they stick around in Tennessee and see out the season.
And they're going to punch their way to competitiveness.
The only way Devontae Adams is out if he just straight up says I'm done. You're not willingly getting rid of Devontae Adams.
That's right.
4th and goal.
Did I stutter? Beer me.
All right, Cooper Kupp came back last week and looked like a wide receiver 1. The first 4 weeks, Puka Nacua looked like a wide receiver 1. So I ask you guys, do the Rams have the best 1-2 pass catching combo in the NFL? And if not, who does?
They don't. I mean, Cincinnati's pretty damn good. Jamar Chase, T. Higgins is really good. Tyreek Hill and Waddle are really good. Now, look, the Rams are nice, and Puka Nacua's got a nice start to his career 5 weeks in. Ayuk and Debo are pretty damn good. Like, they've got a good 1-2. I'm not ready to tell you they're the best 1-2 punch in the league.
They're top 5.
Okay.
Right now.
All right. That wasn't the question.
No.
Are they
the best? Well, if Cooper Kupp is still worthy to be in the conversation with Jamar Chase, then Puka Nacua nipping at the heels of T. Higgins.
Yeah. It's just not there yet. I just can't. After 5 games, I can't just say, yeah, absolutely. I like them.
After a record-setting 5 games,
Yeah.
I would.
So you think they're the best?
Right now, they're the best.
Okay.
Because they're playing.
Because they're playing. Yeah. I mean, the Bengals are hurt. Waddle's been hurt. Jefferson's hurt. I mean, Jefferson and Addison would be pretty good, too.
Like, I would say they would be in the same place as having Kupp and Nacua.
If Jefferson and Addison are healthy, pretty good. Waddle and Tyreek Hill, it's really good, right? No, they're good, dude. I just don't know that I'm ready to make them number 1. By the way, they're 2 and 3. Is that it? You know, there's an ending to that. Did you know that there's an ending to that? Jared when Jared was in there was. I didn't even know there was an ending to the.
The reason we don't use that ending is because it has copywritten music.
Oh, did you tell him that?
Yes.
Yeah. What did he say? Oh, is that how that went?
Something like that.
He said, "Oh, all right." Just wanted you to know. I mean, nobody tells me anything, so I learn stuff on the fly as we go. That's a great question. Are the Rams, is that they're 1-2 the best? So you would take them over Metcalf and Lockett?
Yes.
Boy, I don't know that I would. Ayuk and Debo?
Yes.
Really? Okay.
Like, I like Debo as a football player.
Yeah.
I think Nacua is a better receiver.
Okay. Jefferson and Addison is really good. Amon-Ra, well, let's see what Jameson Williams becomes. I don't know. McLaurin and Dotson are good, but they're not. I'll take the Rams better. All right.
Dotson's only good because people drafted him. They're waiting for him to do something.
Yeah, and so I said I'd go the other way. A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith.
They're in that, top 5.
That's a pretty good one, huh?
And it's you like the fact that there's a resume with some of these guys, as you said, going with T. Higgins and Devontae Smith and Jalen Waddle.
Stephon Diggs and Gabe Davis. Gabe Davis is
balling
balling right now. Yeah, no doubt. Right? I mean, Waddle and Tyreek is so good. T. Higgins and Jamar is really good. I mean, hell, Ridley and Kirk
would even
should
be your
good.
top 5.
I'll tell you what. I mean, when they're healthy, Mike Williams and Keenan Allen.
Yeah.
They're never healthy, though. They're never healthy together. Keenan Allen's good, dude.
Keenan Allen's awesome. Mike Williams is a little too hot or cold even when he is playing. Because when he has one
Fair.
of his games, you're like, wait, he had 4 catches for 120 yards?
Travis Kelce and anybody. No, that's a great question. Now you got me. My mind's kind of going. Well, I mean, maybe. It just. I mean, it's posible que no.
To me, a lot of it is just because I still believe Cooper Kupp is that dude. Like if we're talking wide receivers, I think Cooper Kupp can be right there with Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase, Devontae Adams.
Yeah. Yep. He just doesn't look the part, so he didn't get that love. No, I get it. No, I mean, right?
Devontae Adams, Jacoby Myers. Put him on the list.
Okay. I mean, there's some good tandems. There are. And then how do you stop them? Should we just remember a couple of years ago when the Cowboys had the worst? Was it the COVID year? It was, because I remember sitting at my kitchen table and saying I used to call the Cowboys the Alice Cowboys because there was no D in Dallas. They were just the Alice Cow. There was no. Are they the Denver Broncos? There's no D in Denver. Are they the worst? It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, The Sports Animal, your home for Sunday night and Monday night and Thursday night football.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
We here at Clark's Pet Emporium welcome you to bring in your pets. We know that having your pet with you makes the experience of shopping for them even better. And we welcome you to bring your kids also. Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us. And my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Hi, I'm Steve Stunker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com. ProView Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit hanswhitlerauto.com.
Hi, I'm Steve Stunker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
There's no D in Denver. From here on till they earn it back, they have to earn their letter, dude. They're the Denver Broncos. You guys have a problem with that? I mean, I know you're Denver Bronco fans. There's no D in Denver. It says it right here on your sheet. Yeah. By the way, you looked up, I asked the question earlier, the backwards D that Dak Prescott wears on his hat. I asked what that was, and you looked that up, and you found out it was a brand, right?
Yes, it's called the True Brand, launched in 2020 by a group of veterans. It's owned and operated by veterans, which is great. They basically are creating a brand with the Dallas culture in mind, so they're trying to become Dallas's true brand. So the Upside Down is kind of their staple piece right now.
All right, cool. All right, let me give you some numbers for the Denver Broncos. This was a team that was built on defense as recently as a year and a half ago, right? That was just a quarterback away. After their loss on Sunday, the Broncos have given up a league high 938 yards on the ground. They are a league worst, giving up almost 6 yards per carry. DC, you came up with this. Okay, it's called DVOA. You're telling me this is like the most accurate predictor of what? Like this is like the deepest and high-tech analytics or whatever?
Yeah, it's kind of the new analytic that is supposed to be the most accurate in predicting wins and losses.
All right.
So it's the defense's adjusted value over average.
All right. But some deep analytics.
Well, so what it does, it measures a team's success on each play against a league average success rate on that play.
Okay. All right. So according to this DVOA, the 2023 Broncos is one of the worst defense you've ever seen for a Broncos team. Broncos have the worst defense ever measured by DVOA through 4 games. They now have the worst defense ever measured by DVOA through 5 games. Let me tell you how bad your defense is. They brought in Vance Joseph, right? He was like, he's a really good defensive coach. Points per game, dead last in the league. They're giving up more than 36 points a game. Yards per game, dead last in the league, giving up over 450 yards per game. Last in the league against the rush. Last in the league against rushing yards per carry, yards per game. Last in the league for opposing quarterback rating. Dude, they just played Zach Wilson, and they're still they played Zach Wilson, Jim Garoppolo, and Justin Fields. 3 of their 5 games were those guys, and they're still last in the league. They haven't played the Niners. They haven't played the Seahawks. They haven't played the Eagles. They haven't played the Dolphins. Did they play the Dolphins? They did play the Dolphins. Oh, wait. The Dolphins scored 70 on them.
Yeah, they kind of played.
Yeah. they did play the Dolphins. that was them, right? It
is shocking.
It is shocking
how much worse they are than second place in these metrics. Like that gap.
All right, I want to get in more of this, how this got there, what it means, and how do they dig out of this? Because the Denver Broncos are brutal. Not just offensively. Oh, you got your problems there. And maybe it's masking Russ's problems a little bit. But your defense is a sieve. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610. The sports animal, your home for Sunday night and Monday night and Thursday night football.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us. And my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
I was born in New Mexico. I grew up on these streets. I got in trouble here, and I fought my way back in boot camp. I love New Mexico, especially the people. Now I'm using my training, tenacity, and energy to fight for you. I'm Adam Oki, lawyer, fighter, and New Mexican. I was a local athlete here in New Mexico, so I'm proud to support your local athletes.
Rosendo Najar here, president of Carpenters Local 1319.
Juan Junior Gonzalez, warden of Local 1319. Some people have a misconception about what a carpenter does.
The carpentry trade entails more than just woodworking or building houses. We are responsible for 85% of a construction job site. Everything from the superintendent on down. We have a great apprenticeship program. Information can be found on our website.
ProView Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit hanswhitlerauto.com.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures.
You know, Denver, no D in Denver, that goes back to the Nuggets of the 90s. Denver never had any defense in any of their games.
Probably right.
But anyway, what I wanted to talk about was how did you manage to get a win without even starting a running back?
I had DJ Moore. That's how, dude. That's how.
You know, when you talk about guys who are 2-3 and 1-4,
oh, that's me.
You should be 0-5.
But I'm not.
I guess you got a W.
I got a W, Billy. That's all that matters. And
and then the Broncos did play Miami, and Miami hung 70 on them. You take that 70 out of the equation, the defense is not that bad,
it's pretty
but
bad.
There's still a train wreck up in Denver.
Yeah. All right, Billy. Good to hear you. And thanks. Yeah, I kind of played a running back. To my defense, like Aaron Jones was Monday night running back. And so
that was a tough one, tough situation to be in.
On Sunday morning, I was listening to everybody. Well, and Aaron Jones expected to play. And so it was like Aaron Jones or Miles Sanders or Ezekiel Elliott. And so I went with all the experts, and then he didn't play, and I didn't have a running back. And I won. Damn it. All right. So he said you take the 70 points out, and the Broncos aren't that bad. No, they're horrible, dude. They're horrible.
Yep. 35 points to Washington, 28 points to the Bears, 31 points to the Jets. You can't make that statement. They're bad regardless of the Miami game.
So the Bears, well, I guess the Bears won again last week. Or the Bears won again. The Bears won the first time. 31 to the Jets, 28 to the Bears, 70 to the Dolphins, 35 to the Commandos. All right, the first game, the Raiders scored more than 17 all year? They haven't, right? Raiders scored 17 last night and won. Raiders scored 17, 10, 18, 17, and 17.
They're the only team in the NFL
that hasn't scored 20 points?
The Denver Broncos that have already given up over 2,000 yards of offense to opponents.
Look, I gave you the rankings where they're last, and there are more 30-second rankings, and so you get into yards per play and points per play.
So here's the easy way for everyone. Like when we throw out a term like DVOA, like what the deuce is that?
Yeah.
If you're,
I like that. What the deuce is that? No, that's good. That's good. It's like bull junk. I like that. Yeah.
If you're a defense, you want to have a negative DVOA. It means you are holding opponents to below league average on plays. And an offense, you want to have a positive. So a negative number on defense is good, and a positive number on offense is good. The Denver Broncos defense is 34.6% of opponents' plays above league average. The next closest is the Bears at 19%.
So more than 1 every 3 play, they're getting more than the league average against them. Yeah. Sean Payton, quote, "That was the first topic this morning. It's going to be tough to win games if we can't stop the run defensively. We got to get it cleaned up. I'd start with fitting the right gaps. Then it's understanding scheme-wise what we're getting and how to restrict those holes. A lot of it's communication, it's technique, but it's got to get better," end quote. Are they better just letting him, like I told you, Sean Payton gets a pass this year. And that's why Sean Payton's been bold and he can say it was the worst coaching job ever. And he gets a pass this year because it was so bad, because his quarterback's not very good. This is what he got. How much can he even blow this thing up? Like, it's not like Dion up the street. He doesn't get to just go in and transfer portal and tell everybody in the locker room, I'm bringing my own luggage, and it's Louis. And he doesn't have his kid to come in and play quarterback. Now, maybe he's got Dion's kid next year to play quarterback. Wouldn't that be something? But, I mean, I'm looking at this, and the thing you gave me, DC, it says this DVOA article is saying, you let him blow the thing up and rebuild from scratch. How do you do that at the pro level? You don't get to just go transfer portal and blow the whole thing up and start from scratch. You got guys under contract. You're committed. You got a position in the draft. It's not as easy as just, all right, go rebuild it. And Dion did this thing. And by the way, Dion's team is as great as it was. They're going to struggle to be 6-6.
I think when they say that, it's very easy for Broncos fans to get kind of sucked into the Walmart money and just assume you can buy your way out of it. And it's true. I mean, they have serious conversations about, let's cut Russell Wilson, who cares about $60 million. And
who's they?
Fans.
Yeah.
Denver fans.
Yeah.
So it's one of those shopping with someone else's wallet. If you have $66 billion to work with, you kind of assume you can buy anything you want. But you're right. In the NFL, it does not work like that.
Yeah, I just don't know how feasibly within the structure of this league, you're just going in, and it's not like me not being able to start a running back and winning a game.
Well, I mean,
you can't do that.
Theoretically, you could pay every veteran vet minimum and just bonus them as high as you want. You could do that. I mean, it's shopping with a very large wallet, but those are the kind of ideas that are getting floated around because it has just never been this bad in Denver.
It's horrible. It's really, and Bronco fan, I don't know where you go with this thing. It shouldn't. I mean, this was going to be like when you hired Sean Payton. Didn't you kind of feel like, all right, it can't get any worse? You went through that mess last year. Is it, like, whose fault is this? It's not all Nathaniel Hackett. Nathaniel Hackett did not have the power to put this roster together.
You know whose fault it is? It's John Baldwin.
Okay.
And that goes way back. He should have taken over the team. He couldn't get his act right, so they're grooming him to take over. He was out, and then when they sold the team, they didn't have a plan.
Because somebody put together this roster and told the world it was great, that they were just a quarterback away.
They were 3 years ago.
You might be right.
The defense players got older, And some players had careers that aren't having it. It's easy. This team was a quarterback away 3 years ago, even 2 years ago, defensively.
When they had Drew Lock.
They fell off a cliff.
And Brett Rippon.
Defensively. What everyone said about Russell Wilson last year is the defense this season. It's the exact same thing. Because last year you could talk yourself into, that's a competitive team. They have some pieces defensively. Fix Russell Wilson. The defense was not a talking point coming into the season. But the reality was this roster, they just aged out of being a quarterback away. You look at the players, you look at who's there. They're not the same team. And so they were late and they missed on Russell Wilson. And then all of a sudden you have a defense that has pulled a Russell Wilson falling off the cliff. So if you want to take out that Miami game, like, oh, they're not that bad, y'all. All right, I did that. I took out the Miami Dolphins team where they had 726 yards of total offense.
So what do you got?
And they had 70 points.
Yeah.
So if you're just saying, oh, let's just look at these 4 games.
Okay.
The 381 yards per game given up, which will be 5th worst in the NFL, as would the 27 points per game.
So they go from worst to 5th worst. Feel better?
There's no...
There you go, Billy.
If you just take out the Dolphins game, no, they're bad regardless.
Yeah, you feel better?
It's the reality of the situation.
You're not the worst. You're the 5th worst. If you and how do you take out a 70-point threat?
You know, if you just remove that.
Never mind that. If you're looking just for storyline, Brandon Staley has gotten out Brandon Staley the last 2 weeks. He got lucky as hell in Minnesota. There they were at the goal line ready to tie that over. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610. The sports animal, your home for Sunday night, Monday night, and Thursday night football.
This New Mexico. We would like to thank the FAS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit
4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud to
their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home.
Start here.
I was born in New Mexico. I grew up on these streets. I got in trouble here, and I fought my way back in boot camp.
Be good. Be good. Be good early. Be good throughout, and be good late. But it's hard. So is there any truth to the theory that you can say, fellas, although the Broncos are my favorite NFL team, bottom line here is this: they totally suck. Not surprised with how terrible they are thus far. Oh, well, John in the Duke City. Thanks, Jeff. You're welcome, John. Hype that game was, and just the way they carried themselves in our building throughout the week, they weren't making much of it. It's kind of like any other game and just any other week, end quote. All right. You in college basketball.
Yeah, you shouldn't start practicing until February.
Oh,
so you're not
I got
tired in March.
It's coming. Promise, it's coming.
You know it.
Yeah, yeah. Why are the women practicing now? They're going to get tired by February because they should just roll out the basketballs when the.
Then they get Baker Mayfield, division game in Seattle. So it's not an easy stretch for San Francisco, but boy, are they so good every facet of the game.
Yeah, they're really good. Tyreek Hill has come to the defense of Dak Prescott on social media. So now here we go. You get a little X war going. So Tyreek Hill jumped in today. Quote, "What's up with the old heads? You'll be here one day. I said what I said, homie." End quote.
The stuff Dante Whitner said after the fact, like, I'm listening. Oh, I get that. Like,
and let me, what that was is here, because let me clarify that for people who just weren't here. He said they talk so much about Dak Prescott being a top tier quarterback and a franchise guy. I don't see it. No, because the headline is, wow, he said he sucks. I don't think you're wrong, and I think the more platforms there are for these guys, and the more hot take shows, and look, every one of them, the Jonathan Taylor contract, he got paid. He's a running back. Running backs don't get paid. what does it mean long term for the market? And when you see a guy like Devon Achane come out of nowhere and do what he does, or a guy like what's your trained armed officers who respond to alarms usually in 7 minutes or less. Police are overwhelmed. They can't react until it's way too late. Look, the cops are doing a great job. There's just not enough of them to respond to every home or business alarm that goes off. IPS, if they monitor your home, and it's happened to me. My alarm went off. I was out of town. They were there within 5 to 7 minutes. I watched them on the security cameras. They were there making sure everything was okay. I mean, imagine that, right? It gives you peace of mind knowing someone's there for you. They've done things like when my garage door was open in the middle of the night, they stayed there until somebody came down. They called until someone went down. My brother just left the garage door open. That's what they do. They protect you, your family, your property, what you've worked so hard to build. Call them at 505-897-2420. 505-897-2420 or IPSglobal.com online. IPSglobal.com. IPS is passionate about making Albuquerque a better and safer place to live and work.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides
and your pets. We take meticulous time to find out more about them. Dig deep into their world to understand their needs. We do research for knowledge of each pet. So you
for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE.
Ash of about 45 plus. So he's the second highest paid running back behind Christian McCaffrey. We'll see what it does for him, what it does for the market, what it does for that team. Were you surprised? Because I was. I was surprised when I saw this come down.
I was very surprised. Very productive, and it was productive once again on Sunday that they gave Jonathan Taylor to steal.
What does it mean for the market?
I don't think it changes it much than the realization for these guys that the Christian McCaffrey, the Alvin Kamara deals, I don't think those are coming back. There's going to be few and far between where you're looking until his ship is sailed.
So it's Saquon. It's literally Saquon Barkley, Josh Jacobs, Christian McCaffrey.
The next guy that we have a serious conversation of, are they going to pay this dude a lot of money?
It's Jacobs.
It's Bijan Robinson.
Yeah.
After this year, yes.
Unless they're not going to tag him again because it goes to a ridiculous number. There's just not that many of these guys, and we've watched one of them get hurt, and that was Nick Chubb, right? So he's gone down for the year.
Mostert or Achane?
No.
It's got to be Achane. He's got 460 yards.
Achane's number 2, okay? Devon Achane is number 2, and now he's out for the next 4 weeks. Who's number 3, 4, and 5?
Zach.
Then Brees Lightning. Then David Montgomery. Then James Conner, who's now hurt. Then your rookie Bijan. Then Tony Pollard. I don't know who those guys you're saying, oh, yeah, he's next for the big money. You said Bijan.
$10 good for that team?
And when you try,
catching 13 passes with 30 yards.
When you try to shoehorn that into your salary cap, yeah, it's hard to justify that. Do I want to pay him all that money, or do I want to pay my edge rusher? You knew who Devon Achane was 4 weeks ago. How many of you knew who Zach Moss is? What team he was on 5 weeks ago? Did you remember what team DeAndre Swift was traded to 5 weeks ago? You couldn't remember where David Montgomery was on me, and you know what? He's right. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
This is Boomer Science with the CBS Sportsman.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
We here at Clark's Pet Emporium welcome you to bring in your...
Drunk driver hit us. And my wife. And our daughter. They didn't make it.
eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to...
Takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls.
If this was Brandon Staley, we'd have gone, oh, yeah. Well, analytics said don't take a knee. We watched the game that was over. Miami had Georgia Tech beat. Fumbled. Shaquille Barrett ripped it out. Remember?
Shaq Barrett.
Ripped it from Connor Halliday. 8-minute review. Oh, his knee was down. Okay, well, now they're going to take a knee. Nope, they ran it again. He was in his weekly news conference. And usually it's, well, I was getting the analytics, and we did that because we figured if we... And there was no explaining this one, right? There's no, well, we figured... Whatever.
Like they threw away a chance to be in the conversation. If you're an undefeated team, you get later and later, you're climbing up those rankings.
No, look.
You're like, oh, could they win the ACC?
There's no excuses. It's on me. Right? He said the team responded well. We got a good response. There's 3 ACC teams currently undefeated, and Miami's not one of them. They lose to Carolina. They're 0-2. They went from basically taking a knee to being undefeated. And man, expected to miss multiple weeks. He's getting a second opinion this morning. But they're talking about up to 4 weeks for the breakout rookie, Devon Achane. Meanwhile, in Atlanta last night, one of the most unbelievable endings to a baseball game you will ever see. And if you've not seen it, because I never have, and I sure as hell haven't seen it to be a walk-off to end a playoff game. That was as amazing as a walk-off as I've ever seen. And in Texas, Baltimore's the number 1 seed in the American League. Rangers are up 2-0 in that series and trying to close that out. How about the way the Rangers have been playing? So you get baseball. Will be, but I don't know. So no, George Carter and I will have a call this weekend, and then we get the UNLV game. So we have 2 more left.
That's fun.
It is fun.
How it works.
Yeah, I promise that's not how it works. Mike wants to know, is UMass the most disappointing team? Jeff Lou, the minute. It's tempting.
They're still getting blued out the built with them the last 2 games.
Isn't that the truth? Indiana's 33.5-point dog against Michigan, and that's your big noon game. You go from having Colorado and whoever to
2-0 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com. We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Young driver, this one.
And women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indy Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
I'm Adam Oki, lawyer, fighter, and New Mexican. I was a local athlete here in New Mexico, so I'm proud to support your local athletes.